हरि ओम। ओम ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यंकरवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणी निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करो वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणो याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरं। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगताम् अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरं भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वतीपतये। हर हर महादेव। Hari Om, Hari Om. We will begin with the Shanti mantra. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः ष्टुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We'll chant from mantra number 3. एतस्मात् जायते प्राणः मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी अग्निर्मूर्धा चक्षुषी चन्द्रसूर्यो दिशश्रोत्रे वाग्विवृताश्च वेदाः वायुप्राणो हृदयं विश्वमस्य पद्भ्यां पृथिवी येष सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा तस्मादग्निः समिधो यस्य सूर्यः सोमात् पर्जन्य औषधयः पृथिव्यां पुमान् रेतः सिञ्चति योषितायां बह्वी प्रजा पुरुषात् सम्प्रसूताः तस्मात् ऋचः सामयजुंषि दीक्षा यज्ञाश्च सर्वे क्रतवो दक्षिणाश्च संवत्सरश्च यजमानश्च लोकाः सोमो यत्र पवते यत्र सूर्यः तस्माच्च देवा बहुधा सम्प्रसूताः साध्या मनुष्या पशवो वयांसि प्राणापानो व्रीहियवो तपश्च श्रद्धा सत्यं ब्रह्मचर्यं विदिश्च सप्त प्राणा प्रभवन्ति तस्मात् सप्तार्चिषः समिधः सप्त होमाः सप्त इमे लोकायेषु चरन्ति प्राणाः गुहाशया निहिता सप्त सप्त. So in this section, first section of the second chapter, the Upanishad begins with the topic of Paravidya. It reveals that one Supreme Purusha, that one Brahma, knowing whom everything will become known. From that Brahma alone all the beings are born, and from that Brahma alone the entire world has come into existence. Though Brahma by itself is very divine, free from all forms, free from all modification, there are no divisions of any kind in Brahma, there are no pranas, no mind, but from that same Brahma all beings and this entire creation has come into existence. So that is explained in detail कि from that Brahma the pranas are born. Etasmat jayate pranaha mana sarvendriyani, the mind, all the indriyas, the five elements. And Brahma alone, when it expresses as this world, is called Vaishvanara. So that Vaishvanara is also described कि his head is the space, his eyes are the sun and the moon, all the directions are like his ears, and the Vedas are like his speech, and the Vayu are like pranas, and the whole world is like the antakarana, heart, and the Prithvi is like the feet of that Vaishvanara. From that Supreme Vaishvanara Brahma alone, all beings are born. From the Akash, they come to the clouds, and from clouds, as rains, they fall on earth, and they get associated with the herbs, and then from there they enter the body of the man, and from there the body of woman, and in this way many beings are born. From that Brahma alone, all the Vedas are born, and all the various yajnas and dakshina and diksha and time and those who perform the karma and the karma phala and the lokas, everything is born from that Brahma. From that Brahma alone are born the various devatas, the various other beings like sadhya, human beings, the animals, birds, all the grains, and all the values like Shraddha, Satyam, Brahmacharya, everything is born from that Brahma. From that Brahma alone are born all the senses, the 7 senses which are there on our head, the 7 openings, the 2 eyes, 2 ears, the 2 nostrils, mouth. They are like the 7 pranas, which are expressing as the light which knows the objects of this world. So all these are born from that Brahma alone. Just as all the ornaments are born from gold, as all the waves are born from the waters of the ocean, as all the pots are born from clay, in the same way, all this world is born from that Brahma. So the Upanishad continues with this detailed description of this world. So let us chant mantra number 9. Atas samudra girayascha sarve अस्मात् संज्ञन्ते सिन्धवः सर्वरूपाः अतश्च सर्वा ओषधयो रसश्च येनैष भूतैस्तिष्ठते यन्तरात्मा अतः समुद्रा गिरयश्च सर्वे अस्मात् संज्ञन्ते सिन्धवः सर्वरूपाः अतश्च सर्वा ओषधयो रसश्च येनैष भूतैस्तिष्ठते यन्तरात्मा अतः समुद्राः गिरयश्च सर्वे अस्मात् संज्ञन्ते. From this Purusha alone, all the mountains are also born. Ataha Purushat Samudraha, the various samudra, the various oceans. This whole our earth is filled, is covered with oceans. So all these oceans are born from that Brahma alone. Brahma is so amazing, so magnificent, that the vast oceans are born from Brahma. Brahma is indicated here as Purusha. So from that Supreme Purusha are born all the oceans. So ataha Purushat Samudraha Sarve Ksharadhyaha and Girayascha, and so many mountains are also born from that Purusha. So all of them may appear different in in outer form. They may appear having different shape and size and qualities, but their essential nature is one only, because all of them are born from that Brahma alone. So the various mountains, like the Himalayas, Himavad Adayaha Asmad Eva Purushat Sarve, from this Purusha alone, all of them are born. So the cause of this whole world is one. Though the world appears to have so many varieties, there are different types of materials which we see in this vast world. We see different varieties of activities happening in this world. We also see the various types of beings who are there in this world. But all of them have originated from one source, from one cause, and that cause is Brahma. So Purushat Sarves, then Shandyante Shravanti Gangadya Sindhavaha Nadyah. Then there are so many Sindhavaha. Sindhava means rivers. There are many rivers. Countless varieties of rivers are there flowing on this earth. Though it is surrounded by the ocean, and the waters of the ocean is so salty you can't drink, but the same waters of the ocean gets evaporated and it falls down as rains on earth, on the land, and they form various water bodies like the lakes and ponds and rivers and streams, and they keep flowing in different directions and again go back to the ocean. In the same way, these rivers are born from that Brahma alone. So Sandyantis Shravanti Gangadyaha Sindhavaha Nadyah Sarvarupaha. They are of different categories, different varieties. Gangaji, if you observe, she is fair in complexion. Yamuna is dark. Some rivers, they flow with so much vigor and strength. Some are so vast. Some move very slowly, very gently. If you observe the waters of those rivers, it appears as though they are stagnant, but still they are moving, like Mandakini near Chitrakoot, moves so softly, slowly, gently. So various rivers of different forms, all of them have originated from that Brahma alone. Therefore, in our culture, we worship everything in this world. Everything can be worshipped because through everything we are worshipping that Supreme Brahma alone. By worshipping the river, we are worshipping Brahma. By worshipping the trees, we are worshipping Brahma. By worshipping the sun, the moon, the stars, we are worshipping Brahma. That is the most amazing. So the rivers are also born from Brahma. So asmat sarvarupa bahurupaha asmadeva purushat sarva oshadhayaha, and all the oshadis, all the herbs, the various types of plants and herbs and trees are also born from that Brahma. They are also so amazing. The herbs, and every herb has got its own special quality. They have their own even medicinal value. Every variety of herb has got its own medicinal value. In the Ayurveda and all, the medicines are made from this natural herbs only, and other natural elements, etc. They have their own inbuilt quality, which can help us to regain our health and to fight all diseases, because our body is also made from the food which we eat, and those food are nothing but these herbs and plants. So Purushat Sarva Aushadhayah Vrihi Yavadyaha. So all the grains and plants and herbs are born from this Purusha alone. Then this there are various rasa in this herbs and other food grains. So rasascha maduradi shadvidah ena rasena bhutaihi. So this rasa, the taste which we get from food, there are 6 types of taste which we get. The sweet, sour, pungent, and different varieties. All of them are there in the herbs and different types of grains which we experience. And this taste also depends on the proportion of these 5 elements in them: Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi, and how they are expressing. They bring out different taste. So amazing. You plant a different variety of seed in the same soil, and they grow up to become different plant, giving different vegetables and fruits and flowers, having different taste and fragrance and forms. It's so amazing. It's a great miracle. So all this miracle is happening from that Brahma alone. So though Brahma is free from all qualities, though Brahma is free from all modification, but from that Brahma alone, all this world has come into existence. Just as in the school also we have that blackboard on which the teacher writes something, then rubs the whole thing. The blackboard by itself doesn't have anything, but on the same blackboard, or nowadays whiteboard and all, the teacher can then write something about mathematics. The mathematics teacher comes, she writes all the equations and all. Then the whole board is rubbed. Again it becomes white. Then the chemistry teacher comes and she writes something, draws something. And the whole board gets filled with chemical formulas. Then that is wiped clean, and then the geography teacher comes, writes something else. So in this way, though the board itself is free from all letterings, all figures, but from that board alone, all these things get expressed. Similarly, that Brahma by itself is free from all qualities, all gunas, but in that Brahma alone, the entire creation comes into existence, remains in that Brahma, and again merges back into that Brahma. So the 6 rasas also come from Brahma. Rasascha maduradi shadvidaha, and ena rasena bhutaihi panchabhihi stulaihi pariveshtita tishtate tishtati hi antaratma lingam sukshmam shariram. And enaisha etaihi ena esha bhutaihi tishtate. Antaratma, and inside this body is that antaratma. Here antaratma is the sukshma sharir. It's also called linga sharir or sukshma sharir. It has been surrounded by the stula sharir. See, stula means that gross which we can see. So the gross physical body can be seen, our head, our hands, legs, stomach. And also the internal organs can be seen during operation and all. But this physical body is made to function by the another body which is there within. That body is called Sukshma Sharir, the subtle body, which is made up of the 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, the pancha pranas, the antakarana, mana buddhi chitta ahankar. They make this physical body function. When a person dies, the Sukshma Sharir leaves that body, so that body cannot function. A dead body cannot walk, talk, see, hear, taste. But when we are alive, the Sukshma Sharir make this body function. So that Sukshma Sharir is surrounded by the Stula Sharir, which is made up of these 5 great elements. So that is being said here. Ki bhutaihi panchabhihi stulaihi, by that 5 gross pancha mahabhut, pariveshtita tishtate tishtati hi antaratma. This antaratma, that is linga sharir, lingam sukshmam shariram. Tarhi antarale sharirasya atmanah cha atmavad vartate iti antaratma. It is called antaratma because it is expressing as Atma only. The Sukshma Sharir behaves as though it is the Atma. Though it is not the Atma, Atma is even subtler than the Sukshma Sharir. Atma is different from the Sukshma Sharir. Atma remains alone when we are in deep sleep. The Sukshma Sharir also doesn't function in deep sleep. But when we are awake, the Sukshma Sharir function, the Stula Sharir function, and inside is that Atma, means myself. So here, this Antaratma, that term is used for Sukshma Sharir, not for the Supreme Self. So Sukshma Sharir itself behaves like Atma. So tad hi antarale sharirasya atmanah cha atmavad vartate iti antaratma. So in this way, from that Brahma is born the pranas, the mana, the Vaishvanara, the Devatas, all the lokas, all other beings, the Vedas, all the yajnas, the dakshina. From this way alone are born the entire other features of this world, the mountain, the rivers. So all these are born from this Brahma. But born from Brahma doesn't mean Brahma is different and the world is different. Just as the ornaments are born from gold, but the ornaments are not different from gold. In the same way, the world is not different from Brahma. Brahma alone is appearing like the world. When we are looking at the world, we are looking at Brahma only in that form. Just as when we look at the ornaments, we are looking at gold. Though I say I am looking at the necklace, but my eyes are looking at gold. Similarly, all that we see, hear, taste, touch and experience in this world is Brahma alone. So one has to, when one knows that Brahma, one will know everything. So that is what is said now in the last mantra of this section. So let us chant mantra number 10. Purusha evedam vishvam karma tapo brahma paramrutam etad yo veda nihitam guhayam so vidya granthim vikiratiha somya. Once more. Purusha evedam vishvam karma tapo brahma paramrutam etad yo veda nihitam guhayam so vidya granthim vikirati hasomya. So here Shankaracharya ji writes in the commentary ki evam purushat sarvamidam samprasutam. In this way, from that Purusha alone, everything is born. Samprasutam is Purusha alone has given birth to this whole world. Purusha himself has become this world. Purusha himself is born as this world. So this world is as though the avatar of that Purusha. So evam Purushat sarvam idam samprasutam, samyak prasutam. Just as a mother gives birth to the child, similarly Purusha has given birth to this whole world. अतः वाचारंभणं विकारो नामध्येयम् अनृतं पुरुष इति एव सत्यम अतः. But one thing we have to understand, that this Purusha, without undergoing actual modification and change, is appearing like this world. See, for example, if we have milk, that milk gets converted, let us say it gets converted into curd. When the milk gets converted into curd, the milk doesn't remain as milk. It becomes curd. Then that curd we churn and take out the butter and then heat it and we get the ghee. So in all these changes, the actual destruction of the previous form happens to give rise to a new form. The milk gets destroyed to become curd. The curd gets destroyed to become butter. The butter gets destroyed to become ghee. But here in this world, one should not think that the Brahma has got destroyed to become the world. Brahma, without undergoing any change and modification, is appearing like this world. Just as the gold, without becoming anything else, appears like the ornaments. The gold, remaining gold, appears like the ornaments. Similarly, Brahma, remaining Brahma, appears like this world. Therefore, this world which we see appears to be constantly changing and having variety of forms, but all this change and variety of form is only in the appearance. It is not in Brahma. All the changes are only namesake. It is not actual. And that is described even in Chandogya Upanishad, which Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji quotes here, कि अतः वाचारंभणम विकारो नामध्येयम. That whatever vikar, whatever changes and modification which we see is vacharambanam, is only at the level of speech, means it is only namesake. It is not actual. For example, the gold, when it becomes ornament, ornament is just a name. Otherwise it is gold only. Ornament is nothing but gold. A necklace, gold necklace is nothing but gold. So, what is that necklace? It is just a name. It is just a name of that particular form. And that name and form undergoes modification, but gold doesn't undergo any modification. So this form which we experience is called asatyam or anritam. It's a technical term. The form which we see is called asatyam or anritam, means that which changes. And the gold is called satyam. Like the clay, when it gets converted into a pot, the pot undergoes change, but pot is just a name. What is the reality behind this is the clay. So the clay is satyam and the pot is called asatyam. Also it is called anritam. It is not mithya. Many times even some books they translate the term anritam as mithya, which is wrong. Even in this Gita Press book, the term anritam is translated as mithya, which is not proper translation. One should retain the term anritam only. Because Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji defines these terms in his Bhashya. Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji in his Bhashya of Bhagavad Gita, he defines the term Satyam and Asatyam, or Sat and Asat, very beautifully. He said, Yad Vishaya Buddhi na Vyabhicharati Tat Sat, and Yad Vishaya Buddhi Vyabhicharati Tad Asat, iti Sadasad Vibhage Buddhi Tantre Sthite. He says, when you look at this world, you see objects of this world and you understand those objects having a particular form, particular name. That understanding happens in our buddhi. So I see one object. I see, let us say I see this pot And my buddhi gives me the knowledge that this is a pot. But then after some time the pot breaks. So the same pot which I had known before is known as a broken pot. So the knowledge of that pot changes in my buddhi. That which is known as one thing, after some time it gets changed to be known as something else. I plant a tree, a small plant is there, I know it as a small plant, but after some time it grows to become a tree. So that same object which I knew as a plant, I know it as a tree. So the plant understanding has gone and tree understanding has come. So it has changed. This is true for all the objects of this world. Whatever we experience, at one time it changes after some time. So that which changes in our buddhi, whatever we have ascertained to be of a particular nature, that nature changes, then that object, that expression of that object which changes in this way is called asatyam or anritam. But there is something which doesn't change. If you observe any object of this world, it is also experienced as ease. When I see that plant, I say plant is. Then after a few years when I come and look at it, it is grown to become a tree. So I say tree is. So the plant thought has gone. It is replaced by tree thought. But the thought is has not changed. It is same. In the plant also I experience ease. In the tree also I experience ease. So that because of which I have this thought is in my buddhi, that is called satyam. And that because of which the thoughts keep changing, that is called asatyam. So what does it mean? That this world which we see is constantly changing, so it is called asatyam or anritam. But that anritam is also dependent on satyam. This world doesn't exist independent of Brahma. Just as the ornament cannot exist independent of gold, the world doesn't exist independent of Brahma. But it keeps on changing. So that changing expression of this world is called asatyam. And that changeless expression of this world is called satyam. Both are experienced with our buddhi. So that Brahma alone is expressing as this changing world. Therefore this change is only namesake. It is not actually happening in Brahma. Brahma remaining same appears to be dancing. Just as we see a dancer dancing, the dancer remains same throughout the dance, but we see different expressions of that dancer. Similarly, this whole world is like a dance of that Supreme Brahma. Without undergoing change and modification, the Brahma dances like this world. So when we just focus our attention on the dance, it is changing. When our attention is focused on the dancer, it's changeless. So the whole idea is to come to understand that dancer. Shift your attention from the dance and come to comprehend that dancer. So that is what is said in this mantra, ki Purusha eva idam vishvam. Purusha, that Brahma, eva, alone, idam vishvam, sarvam, this entire Vishwa is nothing but that Purusha alone. See that the term mithya is used for wrong understanding. The term mithya is not a description of the objects outside. Mithya, the term, is used for wrong understanding. The outer object is indicated as asatyam or anritam, means changing existence. And whatever wrong understanding we have about the world, about ourselves, is called mithya. So the world in front of us is not mithya. But if we have some misunderstanding of this world, that is mithya knowledge. This term mithya has become very prevalent nowadays. Everyone talks about it, and it has created so much of confusion in sincere seekers' mind. Because if you have this notion that the world is mithya, then we will not be able to comprehend that Brahma. We can come to understand that Brahma through the world, because the world is connected to Brahma. Just as we can understand gold by holding on to the ornaments, because ornaments are connected to gold. So Purusha eva idam vishvam sarvam. Purusha alone is this entire Vishwa. Na vishvam nama purushat anyat kinchit asti. Shankaracharya ji himself is writing all this. In his name only people have started spreading wrong informations. Shankaracharya ji himself is saying in his bhashya ki na vishvam nama purushat anyat kinchit asti. What we call Vishwa is nothing other than the Purusha. Purusha alone is this Vishwa. Purusha alone is Vishwa. This Vishwa is Purusha alone. Na Vishvam nama Purushad anyat kinchit asti. Ataha, therefore, yad uktam tad eva idam abhihitam. So that which was asked before by the student, what was asked? Ki kasminnu bhagavo vidnyate sarvam idam vidnyatam bhavati iti. You remember? The student had asked the teacher, ki what is that one thing knowing which everything will become known? So there are everything, so many things are there in this world. So teacher first tells that everything is originated from one source. So if you know that one, you will know everything. And what is that one source? That is Purusha or Brahma. So etasmin hi परस्मिन् आत्मनि सर्वकारणे पुरुषे विज्ञाते पुरुष एव इदं विश्वं न अन्यद् अस्ति इति विज्ञातं भवति. So when we come to understand this Brahma, this which is also indicated as Param Atma, when we come to understand this Brahma, Purushe Vijñate, Purusha eva idam Vishwam, that this Purusha alone is this entire Vishwa. Everything is that Purusha only. Purusha eva idagam sarvam. Sahasrashirsha Purusha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishtat Dashangulam. Purusha evedagam sarvam yadbhutam yaccha bhavyam utamritatvaseshanah yadannena tirohati etavanasya mahima ato jayagascha purushah. In this way, in the Purusha Suktam also, it is indicated that Purusha alone is everything. So, kim punaha idam vishvam iti uchyate. So, when we say Vishwa, what does it mean? Vishwa, not only the matter which we see is the world, but all the actions which are happening in this world. Not only the actions which are automatically happening, but all the actions which are performed by all the beings and all the human beings. That is also part of the world. That is called karma. So, karma, then tapaha, all the tapas, karma like agnihotradi lakshanam, tapaha jnanam. Tapa means all the knowledge which we acquire to perform this various karma. That is also part of this Vishwa only. Tatkrutam phalam anyad etavad hi idam sarvam. And the result which we get through this karma, that result is also this Vishwa, this world. Hence, tacha etad brahma karyam. Therefore, everything is brahma karyam, the effect of Brahma. The entire world is the effect of Brahma. We have to move in the direction shown by the scriptures. We have to do our sadhana and our thinking as directed by the Upanishads. Upanishad is holding our hand where we are and taking us towards that Brahma and making us gain abidance in that Brahma. So we should move as shown in the direction as shown by the Upanishads. So the Upanishad says ki tatsmat sarvam tacha etad brahmana karyam. So everything is the karya of Brahma. The world is an effect of Brahma. From this world we have to know Brahma. And once Brahma is known, we will know that there is no cause and there is no effect in Brahma. It's very mysterious. When we are ignorant, when we have to hold on to the world to know Brahma. And once Brahma is known, then other than Brahma nothing is there. Then everything is Brahma and Brahma alone. In the state of ignorance, we see varieties, we see differences. We experience limitations. But when we go in the direction shown by the Vedas, we will come to comprehend this Brahma. So, tacha etad brahmana karyam, everything is Brahma karyam. Tasmat sarvam brahma paramrutam, param amrutam. So, everything is that supreme Brahma alone. Okay, so the world is expression of Brahma, everything is Brahma, and that Brahma was indicated as Divya, Yamurta, Purushaha, as divine, as free from all forms, as Satyam Jnanam Anantam. In other Upanishad it is indicated as Satyam Jnanam Anantam. But how to comprehend this Brahma, how to know this Brahma? Okay, if I want to know everything, I don't have to go and study everything. I just have to know Brahma. Then I will know everything. But how to know this Brahma? So he says, that this Brahma which is said to be the cause of this world, that Brahma is your own self. Ahameva iti yo veda nihitam stitam guhayam. One who recognizes, realizes this Brahma as Ahameva, as I alone am this Brahma. I am this Brahma. And who is this I? Not the body, not the mind, but that which is free from body, mind, that inner self which I experience in deep sleep, free from the Stula Sharir and Sukshma Sharir, separated from the Stula Sharir, Sukshma Sharir, that Pratyagatma, that Kshetrajna, that innermost self, which is experienced as Aham, that Aham is Brahma. Tasmat sarvam Brahma paramrutam param amrutam ahameva iti yo veda nihitam sitam guhayam. One who recognizes that Brahma as Ahameva Brahma, and where he recognizes in the cave of his own heart, in his own antakkarana, he realizes this Aham, this Shuddha Aham which is there in this antakkarana, which I experience as I, that I am Brahma. And it is not only present in this antakkarana, it is present in the heart of all beings. So, yo veda nihitam stitam guhayam hridi sarva praninam, in all the beings, sa evam vijnanat, one who recognizes, realizes this, having gained this knowledge, direct experience, direct realization of this truth, aparoksha anubhuti, one who gains the experience of it, such a person, avidya granthim, granthim iva dhribhutam, avidya vasanam vikarati, he destroys that avidya granthi, the knot of ignorance which is making us feel and think and experience something which is totally wrong. That avidya granthi, that knot, it is called granthi because it is so very strong to be negated. But only with this knowledge of the self as Brahma, this avidya granthi gets destroyed. So dhrudi bhutam avidya vasnam vikarati vikshipati nashayati iha. Iha means here itself, while living, not after death. While alive itself, one can gain this knowledge and destroy this avidya. Jivan neva, while alive. Such a person, namrutasan, not after death, while alive itself. One who recognizes this Atma, this Brahma as Atma, he while alive itself destroys this avidya granthi and gain abidance in that Atma, becomes free, becomes Brahma. Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. One who knows Brahma becomes Brahma only. So this is the most fascinating and most magnificent something which is revealed here in the Upanishad. One who appreciates it. I want to be able to appreciate it. You will get so much of joy. So understand this properly and follow this path as shown in the Upanishad and gain abidance in that your own Atma as Brahma. More about this we will see in our class tomorrow. We will begin with the next section, which is also very fascinating, which reveals some of the sadhanas which will help us to gain that abidance in our own self as Brahma. So till then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and we shall meet again tomorrow. Okay? Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, 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 Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Boliye Siyavar Ramachandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.